Hey everyone, it's Russell. Today, I got another R.L. Stine Goosebumps book review for you guys today. This is another classical Goosebumps book from the original 62 era of Goosebumps called How I Got My Shrunken Head. This is a first printing copy of the book that I have. I don't think this book had a reissue. Cover art done. Copy done by Brandon Dorman, excuse me. I think it only had a reprint with like that different color border around it, and those reprints came out in like 2008 or 9, I think, somewhere in that era. Yeah, How I Got My Shrunken Head, book number 39 in the original 62 Goosebumps series. This book was pretty good, actually. It didn't, like, surprise me. It wasn't absolutely mind-blowing or anything like that, but I think it was pretty moderately solid for what it was. It wasn't quite one of my favorite Goosebumps books of all time. I thought it was going to be, but it just wasn't, how do I talk about this? It was fine. It's not a below average book. I thought it was going to be a below average book after reading it, but I sat down and thought about it a little bit more and decided, it should just be a mid-tier book for me. So yeah, that's what I chose for this book. Yeah, again, it was pretty solid. It wasn't the greatest Goosebumps book I've ever read in my life. The scares were pretty mild in this book. There were really not that much scares in this book at all. But I do love the jungle atmosphere and plot to this book. It has a great mystery to it, too. Well, sort of a good mystery. I mean, it's kind of just it's kind of an okay mystery, kind of like the book itself, I guess you could say. But I probably love the jungle setting, atmosphere, and plot to this book more than anything else. It was just so great. This book started off a little bit slow, but then it kind of started to speed things up a little bit more each page, I think. Yeah, and this is one of my best condition first edition first printing Goosebumps book copies that I have so far. It's just in really good condition. It still has Scotch 845 book tape on it too, just because, the cover was about to come off. You can actually probably see a little line right there, kind of like right there where it was about to come off. It's like a big old crease line right there. It's not so bad on the back. The back is actually good condition too. It's got stickers all over it. It's got a thrift book sticker on it. You can see it right there. Even though I bought this book from Amazon, I guess it came from thrift books and then they sold it on Amazon. I don't know what was going on there, but yeah, still pretty good copy. The covers are actually really colored too. You can see they're very, very surprisingly brown. A lot more browner than the pages, which is very interesting. That actually makes the cardstock material that these are made out of a lot more brittle and prone to ripping and tearing a lot more over time, no matter like how you handle them. It's kind of the same deal on this cover too. It's just a little bit more browner. I also have to put like different Scotch tape, kind of like right here to like keep this page in and also help keep the cover in more too. Same deal on the front cover. It needed it more. Yeah, How I Got My Shrunken Head. The cover art's actually pretty nice. This one's one of my mid-tier, I guess you could say, if you will, favorite Goosebumps cover arts out there. It's not one of my favorites. When I started getting into Goosebumps, this has been one of the books that never interested me, so I just never wanted to pick it up and read it. I think the reason that made me want to pick it up and read it now, as an older teen at 14 years, was probably just, I don't know, maybe just I wanted to give some more of him that I didn't want to read before when I was a little bit younger a chance, I think that was really the only explanation. I don't have any other excuses. In fact, I have no excuses. Yeah, also the color scheme looks pretty nice. I like the greens, this light green and the dark green color scheme. It just matches that jungle. It just matches like the jungle colors, there in this book. And that's what makes this book really unique in my opinion. Over basically a lot of those other Goosebumps books out there. It's just very unique with its iconic, classic jungle setting to it. It's a great jungle action-adventure themed book. It reminded me a little bit of Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And if you guys know that movie, that 2008 film, then you probably know what I'm talking about too if you read this book as well. Yeah, I just felt like this book and that movie were a little bit similar. The artifact, the particular artifact that the main lead character, what's his name, Mark, has to protect from these two people. One is a scientist and one is supposedly Mark's Aunt Benna's friend. I think really good friend, maybe close to best friend, I can't remember. He has to protect the artifact, which in that case is the shrunken head itself, which is actually pretty nicely well detailed and done on the cover, with the dresser full of like socks and underwear and other stuff. Yeah, it's really nice, nicely detailed over there. But the main artifact that, of course, Mark has to protect is the shrunken head, just like the same artifact that, well, just like the artifact, not same, but just like the artifact that Indiana Jones, aka Harrison Ford, has to protect in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which is the Crystal Skull itself. No, I think it was the Crystal Skull of Peru. It came from Peru. It's just like a silver skull. You know what I mean if you watch the movie. Yeah, that's what I found kind of interesting. I felt like there was a lot more jungle action to the movie, but less jungle stuff, theme stuff to the movie than the book. So that's kind of where both differ from each other, in my personal opinion. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started with the premise. So you have our lead main character boy, Mark, who's 12 years old, just like all other R.L. Stine Goosebumps book characters, I think, are 12 years old, at least the lead ones, the main characters. Anyways, you have Mark. He's traveling to Baladora, which is it's a jungle island that his Aunt Benna lives on. I think it's just a remote jungle island. I forgot why he was traveling to see his Aunt Ben. I think it was just to be another, welcome visit, welcome home visit. I don't know. So you have him visiting, traveling to the island to see his aunt. I almost said uncle. Aunt Benna with this one lady, which, as I mentioned before, is the supposed good friend to Aunt Benna. Which I think her name was, I forgot. My apologies. Carolyn. Yeah, Carolyn. And Carolyn's just kind of a very typical Goosebumps character. She's nothing any special or anything like that. You know what I mean if you read this book. She's just very, very typical and solid. A good character to read about, I guess. She's just fine all along. But I loved Mark the most as a character in this book. He was very smart, actually, very, very smart character, and he's very solid. He's not so much typical like Carolyn or Aunt Benna. Aunt Benna's really typical character too. But yeah, I love Mark. I don't know what else I actually love about him. I think he's just kind of like me. I don't know how. He's a little bit chubby, I think. Yeah, he kind of has an annoying, bratty little sister, But she's not too bad. Yeah, she's not too bad at all. She's only briefly mentioned in, like, the first few pages of the book. Yeah, we got off a little off topic there. So you have those two. They're heading on a little plane, piloted by a pilot named Ernesto. Kind of a weird name. Who names someone Ernesto? Ugh. Anyways, you have those three. They're just, I think it's a private plane that they're going on, but I'm not quite sure. So they're going over to not Brovania. Why do I keep trying to say Brovania? Brovania is in another Goosebumps book. I think it's Legend of the Lost Legend. Yes, Brovania is that other mythical, like, fantasy woods in Legend of the Lost Legend, which I have a review of that book on my channel too. But yeah, that was the library copy. But don't worry, guys. This time I actually own this book. I really do. This is my own physical copy of the book. Yeah. Anyways, so those guys land in Balladora. I keep trying to mix up Balladora with Brovania. I mean, Balladora is a much, much more better name than Brovania. Like, why Bro? Bro. Anyways, I keep getting off topic. So they land. They go to, like, this headquarters building, I think, where they meet this other man. I think his name is Dr. I'll find out. What's his name? Gracious. What's his name? I think his name was Richard something. Yeah. I can't. His name was Dr. Richard something. Rawlings? No, not Rawlings. What am I thinking? My goodness. So they meet him too. It turns out which I'm not going to spoil it. I was about to spoil it, my apologies, but there's a big, big twist about him and Carolyn and Dr. Richard. I think I'm getting this wrong. My apologies if I... But you have that scientist dude. As I was saying... what was I saying? Oh, yeah. There's a big twist later on in this book, I think, involving Carolyn, the scientist dude, and his daughter named Corrine, which there's also, a big twist about her with Mark, when she's supposedly trying to help Mark, but then there's a big twist about her. Not a twist about Mark, which is good, but anyways, that's really all I have to say about this book without spoiling it. It's not one of the most scariest, most entertaining, or mind-blowing, or like, what's that other word? I thought of another word. Effective Goosebumps books I've ever read, but it was pretty solid. Maybe I'd rate it like a 2.5 or 3 out of 5 stars. It was an alright book, you know. This was one of the books I actually took and read on my 2026 San Diego, California vacation. Yeah. Anyways, guys, that wraps up my book review video for you guys today. If you want to see my other videos, subscribe, comment down below. Like down below, and I'll see you again in my next videos. Take care.